The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
And here we go again, my friend Porterhouse.
Here we are, week 7. Unbelievable.
Of the NFL fantasy season. We are the Fantasy Fat Guys.
I'm Porterhouse.
I'm Powers.
And we're here to give you some mediocre advice about your fantasy football team while talking about all sorts of great sports things around the globe.
Around the globe.
Really not just here.
Whatever you see on the Ocho, we probably don't have it. So
I love the Ocho.
Me too. The Ocho is fantastic.
Go balls deep.
Go. You know what? Right off the bat, let's just quickly mention that World Series action.
Absolutely.
Right? Unbelievable. Where did these Red Sox come from?
So if you really want to watch me be depressed, more than just being a Jet fan, is having the Red Sox make it to the World Series. I can't believe I'm rooting for the Astros.
I know.
I hate the Astros.
I know.
I hate the Dodgers. I despise the Red Sox.
You better stop banging on your drum, my friend.
So now I'm just rooting for the Braves.
You know, but the Braves, hey, the Braves are up 2-0.
Inappropriate.
So what? Who cares?
Okay, and there we are.
What?
Well,
how many Native Americans are listening?
5 people are offended right now.
I mean, maybe other Indians. Hello, my friends.
That was just awful. But anyway.
Would you like a slushie?
See, but to me, baseball got really exciting today when I read that Aaron Boone was given a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
Because if you keep not winning, we're going to keep...
We're
the Yankees. Yeah. Not we, because I play third base.
Right.
They're the Yankees. You know, a team that wins a ton. There's no reason to keep settling with Cashman and Boone with the mediocrity. It's time to move on.
You never should have let that ball go through your legs hit by Mookie Wilson, you jerk.
That was a tough play for me.
Very tough.
My knees were bad. I'm from Montana. A lot of shit going on.
You know, it just doesn't make sense, like you just said. But here's the question. Who are you going to hire in his place?
You know, I'd love to tell you I had the name of, you know.
But listen, a lot of people would
there are 30 different candidates you could bring in.
A lot of people would sit there and say, Buck. No offense, the game has passed Buck by.
You know, I
like Buck.
I do admire managers that play with a little bit of gut. Because right now it's very, very computerized, and I don't enjoy that.
But would he be able to stay managing the team? Because he is a guy who would go with his gut. He does have some baseball instincts.
He used to be actually Buck. The reason I didn't like Buck in the original part was because he always went by the book, and now baseball is extremely by the book, and now Buck is a freewheeler.
Yeah. What?
Out of nowhere, Buck's freewheeling.
What do you mean, bunt?
And free basing. He's doing it all.
Oh, he free bases. Oh,
no doubt about it. But but it's an interesting thing now with the way baseball is played, because we all love the 3-run homer. So did Earl Weaver for many years. But it's so station to station, and you'd love to see the team generate runs from time to time. And the Yankees just don't seem to have that ability to do that.
No, I mean, you're even watching in the playoffs now. Like the Red Sox, they're going the other way.
Hitting grand slams.
And hit grand slams. They do 2 things. Go the other way and hit grand slams. No, but they're playing, they're going against the shift. How do you stop the shift? Hit it
the other way.
Right.
A single doesn't suck.
No,
a double certainly doesn't suck.
I would take it.
Not everything has to be a fly ball to right.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy. But you are seeing it. Teams like the Braves that do move the ball around a little bit. They're kind of fun. I mean, It's fun to kind of get into baseball that way, the old school way. Where outs can be productive every now and again. They don't do that anymore. Now they just strike out.
Do you recall as a child when they wanted to do things and, maybe your dad was like, oh, no, I don't want, they're going to ruin the game. Well, now we're the curmudgeon old men who've been saying that.
We are.
When I go to the ballpark, I don't mind sitting there for 3 hours. If you're going to tell me it's an 18-inning game, I'm all aboard.
We love baseball.
We love baseball. We love being at the ballpark. We love enjoying the game.
The game, it's an acquired taste for some. Some don't like the pace of it. But like we said last week, everything that you hate about baseball in May is what you love about it in October.
Right.
It's like every pitch matters, and it's you with a stick up there against a guy throwing 100, and you got to find a way to move the guy over. And it's not it's a team sport, but you have to be part of it.
Yeah.
And you have to stand out there. You can't hide. You're out there, right there on the mound, or you're out there right there in the batter's box, and you have to produce, and everybody's going to boo you if you don't.
Right.
So, listen, great sport, first love of a sport. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Love football, but baseball has something special about
You
it.
still didn't give me an answer. Who would you have taken instead of?
Listen, I would have probably looked at Willie, and I know a lot of people don't like Willie anymore for some
Never
strange
got a
reason.
chance.
I didn't think he got a chance. I would have looked at Willie in a heartbeat. I really would have.
And he hasn't been to Arizona since. I think he's afraid of it.
I think he's petrified. I think I would have made him fly across country.
Yeah.
And then not give him the interview. I mean,
Right. There
make
you
him fly
go.
back coach.
I think Willie lives around here, though.
No, I know, but I would have had the interview set up somewhere in the greater Alaska area and then not shown up.
I got to tell you, what does it say about the New York Mets organization when Billy Beane doesn't want to come? Dave Stern is not an issue because the Brewers won't let him talk to him. But Theo Epstein doesn't want to come. You know, the big names everybody thought they were going to be able to get this year.
Because he's going to pay. He's willing to pay for him.
I know.
We're going to have another Bobby Bonilla.
Would Billy Beane know what to do with money?
No. And listen, let's be honest. If it wasn't for the movie Moneyball, how much would we really talk about Billy Beane?
Yeah.
Because has Oakland been more successful than Tampa?
No.
No, I mean, Oakland had a great run of getting some good young talent.
Yes.
Doing great things.
And they still
Giambi,
compete.
Damon, the whole thing.
And they still compete every year. They're in the running every year.
They battle, but Tampa goes up against Boston and New York.
And wins 97 games.
I mean, Baltimore's a joke, but the other two are really a battle. And Toronto's offense is better than the Yankees and the Red Sox.
They're a juggernaut, man.
Oh, my
they're
God.
awesome.
If they ever figure out how to pitch and not all go into a slump in the same week, they're
Right.
going to be dangerous.
Well, and Stephen Matz, if you're listening, and I know you're not, you got to call me because I texted you. You haven't gotten back to me yet, jerk.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? Don't you have nothing better to do but to write to some fat old guy asking you for something?
But nonetheless, the baseball playoffs, always a hoot, always a blast.
Always a blast. And then, of course, football. Leonard Williams this weekend. The New York Giants. They're just pathetic.
1-5.
And
The Jets have a better
despicable.
record than the Giants because they had a bye.
But the way, you know what, we discussed it.
2-9 combined.
The first couple of weeks and stuff is how the team seemed to fight. They just. I didn't mean to spew spit, but you got it.
I caught it.
Good for you. And syphilis, which is nice. So, it's unbelievable. They just didn't show up. They just sucked.
That was awful. And then your guy, Kadarius Toney, got hurt.
God, Tony's out now.
Yep.
Shepard's going to be back, but you still have, what's his name out?
Saquon.
Saquon is still out.
You
just lost.
Danny Dimes came back.
And played like shit. So thanks.
The Rams were just
A juggernaut.
I mean, the thing was that the Giant offense, you expected they might struggle with the injuries. The defense really didn't do anything. Cooper Kupp wasn't covered the
Right.
entire game. I mean, they basically just said, "Okay, Cooper, do whatever you want." Now, I love Cooper Kupp, as you guys know. The five of you that listen love this, but Cooper
All
Kupp's
five.
been great all season except for the previous week. And I mean, I thought the Giant D really didn't show up. The running backs were running down their throat. It was Henderson had a good game. It was a little bit of a strange performance by the Giants, very uneven.
Plus, on top of it, C.J. Board, who's like your eighth option, he got hurt. I bet he break his hand or his arm or something like that. So now he's out. So you have no Slayton. You have no Board. You've got a Kadarius Toney.
I'm bored
who knows?
talking about Board. Nobody even knows who the hell that guy is.
I know, but he was catching passes.
And
He's
now,
catching passes.
and now you lost the left tackle, Andrew Thomas.
Who's having a great,
After
revival season.
after week one, he struggled. He's been good ever since.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you join the Jets as Mekhi Becton sits there and sits on the sideline the same way at left tackle.
The only good news we have is that, we're playing, Sam Darnold this week. Maybe we might win.
They dropped like 7 passes on that guy. Not that he had a good game,
Right.
but he would have probably thrown for near 300 yards,
Yeah.
and he probably would have been about a 55 to 60% completion percentage as opposed to the 46 he was. I mean, Robbie Anderson, I think,
He
dropped
caught a
4
touchdown, though.
and he dropped 4 passes.
Well,
but he caught the touchdown.
You catch the touchdown, you drop 4.
And you got to give it to the Vikes a little bit. I mean, they really battle. I mean, they came down the field 2 weeks in a row. The Lions had them beat. They came down and kicked the long field goal. And then the Panthers tied it up. And both in less than a minute came down and missed the field goal, but
Right.
won in overtime. They are an offensive juggernaut. They really are good.
juggernaut.
I mean, Cousins is playing well, but he's got 2 great receivers. And, Cook is injured but back, and
Right.
he's playing. I mean, they're a good squad.
Well, again, we kind of moved off the topic that I was going for.
Well, you
Williams.
You sent me on
We're on
a
the Giants on a tangent. I apologize.
tangent. No, I think I did that.
Going up, complaining because the fans are booing. You suck. You finally, what do you? I think he had 1.5 sacks for the game or something like that. Finally, he actually did something, but most of it was during garbage time. I don't even know who the backup quarterback is for the Rams. But the team was just disgraceful. You know, and they're like, well, you know, the fans should be. F you, you jackass. I paid $100 to get in here, and you sucked.
That's right. You went to that debacle.
No, I didn't go, actually. The guy who I shared tickets with. Your buddy, Mark Ade, I know you love him. He
knows everything.
He had the tickets for the game because my son wanted to go see Sam Darnold next weekend. So, because he's a Jet fan. He's a loser, too, like you.
It's pathetic.
But
Sam
the fans pay their money to go to the game, okay? And I understand if, you know, they're yelling, you know, things about your mother and stuff, unless, of course, it's true. You know, maybe your mother is a tramp. I don't know your mother.
It's fine with me if she is or isn't.
Right. So you live your life, I'll live mine.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, if you don't perform and you play as poorly as you did, you know, it's not like you had like good effort, you know, and everybody's like, we fought,
we just couldn't come through.
Battled, you know, you sucked. People are going to boo. And guess what? As a professional, you just have to suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, the fans pay a lot of money. They pay you a salary.
Yeah.
I know you think they don't.
And he should never have gotten the salary he's getting.
But you couldn't sit there and trade like that high a draft pick and then not sign him. So they made the Jets look good with what they did.
Yeah.
It's very hard for that to happen, by the way.
Well, not anymore.
Rooting for this team for 40-plus years, it's very hard to make the Jets look good.
I got to tell you, the giant front office is turning into the Jets.
When a show like Ted
shameful.
Lasso, when they say you have anything, when they make a comment about the New York Jets referring to bad luck or ineptness or bad teams, you know, and you're making it onto a regular show.
Right.
That tells you about how the Jets' ineptness is going.
Well, the Giants are not far behind anymore, my friend.
No.
Not far behind.
The death of Wellington, really, you see
Yeah.
the difference. And listen, I'm not trying to blame it all on Mara, but he's not his old man.
No.
He's just not. Just like Hal's not his old man.
No.
And, you know, it's Steinbrenner. I mean, you know, these are proud franchises that are showing nothing.
Yeah.
Show me nothing.
Show me some pride.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Play hard.
Yeah.
Play hard. Make the game competitive. Hit somebody.
RESPCT. You know what? Find out what it means to me.
You're the worst.
I am. Thank you so much. So, the Giants suck. The Jets suck. Another thing we wanted to mention, the coach from Washington.
Nick Rolovich.
You know, college football, we've gone back a little bit.
I mean, we talked about Alabama losing. I told you they blow out Mississippi State. They beat them by 40. I said
course.
50. I exaggerated.
Oh, look at you. You lost.
49-9, but it was a road game, and they still beat them. You know, trivia for everybody. Everybody thinks that all the SEC schools, you know, you have Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi,
Right.
Mississippi State, LSU, Arkansas. All these schools are close together. The two schools with the closest proximity mileage-wise are Mississippi State and Alabama. They really are. They're the closest two by drive.
Right.
I mean, it's just, or any mileage. It's just that close. But that was a blowout. But we just wanted to touch on this. The guy and 4 of his assistants lost their job because refusing to get the jab.
Yep.
Did not want to get the shot. So, and it wasn't because of performance, because the guy won 2 in a row. He
Right.
beat Stanford last week. And actually, because I'm a winner, I was watching that game. My wife, you know, it's midnight or whatever. My wife's like, what are we watching? I'm like, it's the excitement of Washington State Stanford. And she's like, really? And it was a great comeback win for Washington State. They did a nice job.
And of course,
and then he came in on Monday.
And then, of course, your wife says, I was going to give you some, but now screw this.
Yeah, basically it was over at that moment. The minute I said Washington State versus Stanford, and she's like, "What?"
She lost a desire.
Yeah, she's a big fan of mine.
Of course.
But yeah, we're near midnight, and this is what's on. But he wins the game. They ask him what he thinks is going to happen. He applied for his religious exemption and got denied, and that's it. So out of a job. So this is happening. You know, Kyrie Irving, the Nets announced that he could not even practice with them anymore.
Opening tonight.
And they open tonight, and he's nowhere to be found. So this is a real thing. And again, I don't know how it's going to affect the NFL players that you guys have on your rosters. They don't tell us who's vaccinated and who isn't.
I think for the most part, everybody's vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 90%, stuff like that, or whatever it is. But I know Cole Beasley isn't, you know, on the Bills. I don't know when they're going to try to be stricter.
Didn't he get it just before the season started, though?
I thought
think
he
had
did
it.
not. I thought he said he wanted to wait.
No. He got sick. I thought he got COVID during the camp.
He might have. I don't think he got the. He might have. He maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was one that did.
No offense, it's Cole Beasley, who, by the way, had a great game this week.
Well, he's that guy in the slot. He's the Wayne Corbett of this generation. Phil McConkey catches the ball, you know, 8 times for 80 yards and a touchdown every week. No, but I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see if the NFL starts to crack down a little further.
And